formal meeting will now commence. And just for people in the public gallery, I should draw your attention to the position of the emergency exits to which you must proceed in case of emergency, which will be indicated by the sounding of the alarm, the way you came in, there and there, and please assemble in Waitrose car park to be marked off before you rush home. Thank you. Minutes of the meeting held on the 1st of December have been laid on the table for the last half hour. May I sign them as a true copy?
Agreed.
Thank you. Any apologies for absence? There can't be, as we're all here. Thank you very much. Any declarations of interest, please?
None received in advance.
Thank you. There are no questions from members of the public. The forward programme is set out on pages 7 to 10. Are there any amendments? Are they agreed? Thank you. Item number 6 is the budget update. Councillor Wyatt Ramsdale will talk on that, but just before he does, can I just update members that I had a meeting with the Secretary of State in the Department of Local Government yesterday to discuss the settlement issue, which has been delivered to us the week before Christmas. Made a number of representations, and he has listened to what was said and has made a number of suggestions as to how we should reply to the consultation in order perhaps to dampen the effect in the short term for this and other like authorities. So quite a useful meeting, and we shall be making those representations through consultation by the end of next week. Councillor Ramsdale.
Thank you, Leader. The Budget Update report outlines the latest budget position for 2016-17, including key financial and topical issues, and an update on the spending review and autumn statement issued on the 25th of November. Since this report was published, the local government finance settlement has been received on 17 December, confirming the assumptions within the draft budget. The latest position is that a draft budget is being prepared which contains a range of savings, growth proposals and capital projects. And this will be presented in detail to the Joint Overview and Scrutiny Committee in January before approval by the Executive and then Council in February. There is a significant shortfall currently. As predicted in the Council's finance strategy, the revenue support grant will be phased out. However, this will be quicker than expected. The Government has now confirmed it will be over 2 years and not 3 years, resulting in the Council's grant being cut by 52% next year, not the expected or we had planned for 30%. This, of course, has increased the shortfall in the budget. The Government has confirmed that a council tax increase of 2% or more will be considered excessive and would require a referendum. By the end of this Parliament, nationally set business rates will be abolished, allowing local authorities to set their own rates. But the system of top-ups and tariffs will be retained. The finance settlement indicates that Waverley will not receive any additional funds from business rates in the next 4 years. The Government is going to consult on reforms to the new homes bonus and potentially reduce the length of payments from 6 to 4 years. And it will be top sliced by Government from 2018-19 onwards. There is, though, an increase in the new homes bonus for next year. The Council does not currently rely on new homes bonus to support service provision. However, any future reduction will impact directly on the Council's Invest to Save funding. There are significant changes to the financing of the housing revenue account and putting the 30-year plan at risk. At the moment, there is insufficient detail on the Government's proposals to enable an accurate assessment of the impact of the proposed changes on the range of assumptions incorporated into the business plan in time to be included in this report. Leader, there are 3 recommendations on page 13 of the report and also set out on page 3 of the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you, colleagues. Any other comments? As I said before, the Secretary of State made it clear yesterday that these are proposals and the consultation is a consultation, and he may make some amendments, hopefully, which would be favourable to us, but we shall see. 3 recommendations, and number 6, are they agreed? Agreed. Item 7 is budget management. There are 9 recommendations. Councillor Ramsdale.
Thank you, Leader. This report on budget management is for the in-year finance. It shows the position against the budget to date for the General Fund, the Housing Revenue Account and for the capital programmes. Regarding the General Fund, the latest forecast is an underspend of 16,000 after allowing for all requested approvals, compared to an underspend of 72,000, which I reported previously. The 2 reasons for the reduction in the underspend are: 1, the waste recycling budget is expected to incur a £25,000 overspend due to reduced income arising from lower recycling rates achieved than anticipated. A Why Recycle campaign has been run to inform the benefits of recycling and to increase recycling levels. 2, activity on building control has declined and income receipts slowed down. Current projections are now indicating an underachievement of income in the region of 66,000. This is partially offset by projected savings in staff and other costs of 50,000, so a net shortfall of 16,000 compared to budget. Since the introduction of Waverley's Council Tax Support Scheme, an amount of 35,000 has been included in the budget each year for transitional hardship relief. The scheme has proven to be successful, as evidenced by a small and reducing need for relief. It is proposed that the current unspent budget of £50,000 be placed in an earmarked reserve at year end and any future requests for assistance met from this fund. Recommendation 1. The Dunsfold planning application fee income has been received, but it is not shown in the figures because it is proposed to set it aside in an earmarked reserve to contribute to the additional specific costs required to process this major planning application. Recommendation 2. Regarding General Fund Capital, the full programme has been reviewed in detail, resulting in 6 adjustments to the scheme funding. These are all on page 18, paragraphs 13 to 18. Executive is asked to approve a virement of £20,000 from the underspend on the General Fund Capital Programme to Development Consultancy, a virement of £25,000 from savings on the General Fund Capital Programme to create a reserve for the replacement of bins, and a virement of £10,000 from savings on the HRA Mobile Working Project to the new Keystone Module Project. Executive are also asked to recommend to Council to approve the rescheduling of £1 million of the 2015-16 budget for the Memorial Hall redevelopment into 2016-17. The rescheduling of £40,000 of the additional classroom at the Pump House Farnham into 2016-17, and the rescheduling of £70,000 of the 2015-16 budget for High Street Car Park Hazelmere into 2016-17. Finally, if I address the Housing Revenue Account, the HRA is on budget. There is one recommendation within the core capital programme that the Executive recommends that Council approves the rescheduling of the £260,000 budget for fire risk assessment remedial works into 2016-17. This results from only one tender being received to do this work. Leader, the recommendations are on page 21 of the report and on pages 3 and 4 of the agenda.
Thank you very much. Colleagues, any comments, please? In that case, there are 9 recommendations. Are they agreed? Agreed. Thank you. Item 8 is the Old Fold Conservation Area Appraisal. Councillor Adams.
Thank you, Leader. Old Fold is one of the smallest villages in Waverley. It was an important glass-making centre in the 16th century, and many of the properties near the church originate from this period. This report covers the result of the consultation and recommends some changes to the conservation area boundaries. Old Fold Conservation Area Assessment is the 12th of 43 in Waverley to be reappraised in the current programme. The appraisal includes a number of boundary changes and removals shown clearly in Annex 1 on page 50 and 51. I don't intend to go through them.
No, thank you.
The result of the consultation, page 62 and 63, shows support for the changes by the 12 responders. They also requested other areas of land to be included, but as explained, it is inappropriate to include protection of the wider rural landscape. The management plan on page 52 to 55 has identified a number of specific enhancements and makes 3 recommendations, in particular holding utilities and Surrey County Council to their obligation to replace any road surfaces in keeping with the original surface. There is 1 recommendation on page 4 of the agenda.
Thank you, colleagues. Any comments, please? Thank you. In that case, there is 1 recommendation. Item number 8, is that agreed? Agreed. Item 9, the Cranley Conservation Area Appraisal. Councillor Adams.
Thank you, Leader. By contrast, Cranley is the largest village in Waverley and is still an important centre of commerce and education. The Cranley Conservation Area Appraisal is the 13th of the 43 in Waverley's recommended reappraisal of the current programme. The report divides the overall conservation area into 4 zones: the common, the traditional high street, the civic centre and the eastern edge. All these areas are part of the central core of the village. There are overlaps between the zones and common themes run through them. There is a summary of the proposed amendments, 6 extensions and 2 removals, together with other comments in respect of the conservation area on page 76, with the details on pages 103 to 107. It is hoped that the negative factors noted by the planners on page 76, the parish council and other interested local societies and make an attempt to prevent further erosion of these negative factors. I appreciate little can be done about traffic at this time. Pages 77 to 78 highlight core features of the village, including its development from agriculture through the iron industry, the opening of the turnpike in 1818, commemorated by the obelisk, to the arrival of the railway in 1865. This latter event caused the population to double in 30 years. There are proposals for the management plan in pages 108 to 114. This report seeks approval to put all the above out to consultation. Item 1.5 on page 75 explains who was involved in the creation of the consultation document. It is proposed to run the consultation for 6 weeks. Page 68, paragraphs 7 to 9 explain the process under a steering group in paragraph 4. Thank you very much. The recommendation for the executives on page 69.
Thank you, colleagues. 1 recommendation, is that agreed? Agreed. Item 10 is Hale Recreation Ground. This is approval to submit a planning application for a replacement fence. I think this is fairly straightforward and set out in the papers. Matter that would go to the planning committee. Any comments? 1 recommendation. Item 10, is that agreed? Agreed. Item 11 is a property matter with an exempt paper, and it is regarding the sale of a freehold of premises in Parsons Green, Hazelmere. Councillor Martin.
Thank you, Leader. I won't add much more than what you've said, but note in paragraph 1.4 there is the we've got a sort of 15-year option of overage should there be any significant onward profit made, which I think is a sound point for the council to take, and I think this is absolutely the right thing to do to get us a capital receipt.
Thank you indeed. I know colleagues were very pleased to see the overage clause there, and the other matter is set out in the exempt on page 123. Any other comments, please? In that case, there is 1 recommendation. Item 11, is that agreed? Agreed. Executive Director's actions.
Leader, just 1 item. Tree risk management, urgent tree safety works costing 15,000 met from the salaries budget. as indicated on page 5, Leader. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You're pleased to know that has been dealt with. That brings to an end this evening's proceedings. Thank you very much.